Alright guys, and welcome back to another creepy video on the channel, and this week we're going to be covering the Bellaire House, which is super creepy and just super crazy in general.
So today's video is actually a virtual collab with Harmony Nice. I can't actually believe I'm saying that because I've been watching Harmony for years and I'm obsessed with her channel. So I was shocked when she agreed to collab with us. Basically she does paranormal type videos, Wiccan videos, she does loads of stuff about witchcraft, it's really cool. And basically she's just an all-round really cool person, so you should definitely check out her channel. Today she's also going to be doing a video on a paranormal haunted house case, so we'll link that and her channel below. Definitely check her out, give her loads of love, and let her know that you came from us if you did.
Alright, so guys, we're going to start at the very bottom, and the house was essentially built in the 1900s by Jacob Heatherington, where he believed he run coal mines, didn't he?
Yeah.
Below it. And it's actually rumoured that directly below the actual house is a old abandoned coal mine, which is just quite creepy to think. Like, there must.
Yeah, I don't like that.
She doesn't like that.
No.
But yeah, you can think, like, in a coal mine back in the day, you think how much people used to die in coal mines alone. So already you're building a house on top of a place where death has occurred. So in 1904, Jacob, the builder of the house, passed away, and it was actually dropped down to his granddaughter Lyde, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she inherited the house essentially.
So Lyde passed away after living in the house for a number of years. In 1947, she had a heart attack in the living room of the Bellaire house right by the fireplace.
So then after that, after all this sort of tragedy and heartbreak, it was then passed down to Edwin, who was the brother. And he was absolutely devastated that his sister in particular had passed away. So he sort of resorted to kind of seances, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not Ouija boards like you see in the movies, but like seances to try and get in contact with her sister again. After being quite unsuccessful in contacting her sister, he sort of turned to sort of darker kind of rituals, didn't he? So this is when we kind of believe that activities started to get a bit more sinister in the house, and sort of more crazy stuff started to happen.
After all of that, Edwin then passed away in 1962. And after that, ownership of the house just moved person to person. There were so many strange things that happened in the house. No one wanted to stay there long, so it actually then just went and lay abandoned. No one wanted to live there, and it was abandoned for quite a few years after that.
During the period of time where this house lay sort of abandoned, neighbours actually reported seeing figures moving throughout the house. So like presuming they were just like people who had moved in. But when they found out that it was just abandoned, they got a bit spooked. And I think this is the craziest part about this house, is that people were just coming in for really short periods of time and just getting out as soon as they could. Which, if you think moving in general is such a stressful experience.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Which we've just done last week. But to move and then get settled and then be so spooked in a place just to be like, that's it, I'm getting out of here again, that takes some real doing. And that's why I truly believe that this house is just got some sort of sinister
energies.
yeah, I was gonna say vibes.
Vibes.
Some serious vibes to it. Crazy, like people just move in and move out just like that.
A lot of people are kind of confused about the ridiculously high levels of activity at the Bellaire house. So there's quite a few theories of what might have been causing this. So the main one is that it possibly sits on something called a ley line. I'd never heard of this before this case. Basically, it's a line that kind of connects like the spiritual world to like our world, and it's sitting on top of it. So basically, any energies passing through could kind of come through, almost like a portal, but I'll move on to that idea in a second. Another theory is the classic being built on a Native American burial ground. This is said for a lot of cases, and I'm not really sure of any evidence in this one. I mean, it would make sense because of all of the activity and almost like the angry energy, it doesn't want you there. But at the same time, it does just seem like, you know, almost like an excuse just like to make sense of it all.
Yeah, just blame it on the burial ground.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, it's just, everyone always says, oh, it's haunted because it's Bellaire.
Yeah, but it was like never any evidence. Okay, so after the Bellaire house had obviously lain abandoned for quite a few years, Christian Lee actually bought the house in 2005 for only $46,000. So, I mean, she didn't question it because she was kind of in desperate times. Her and her family had been forced out of their home by flash floods, so they were desperately looking for a house. And it's kind of interesting how in like negative times this house kind of like is there for people, but it's like kind of luring them in. When they first moved in, obviously they were shocked. It was such a steal to get a house for $46,000. So they were kind of weirded out, but they just moved all their stuff in. They were happy for a while. But then they did start to hear voices and like footsteps in the attic, but it was the kind of thing that you could just brush off as neighbours or just like general house noises.
I wouldn't brush out.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, any noise, he's like, that's weird. And it's this like, look, and it's like, no, that was just
like demons. Just demons.
He's literally that guy. So the first time Christian actually was like, there's definitely something weird going on in this house, was when she fell asleep on the sofa, just like a nap at night. And I believe she was the only one in the house at this point. And she just woke up and she was freezing cold, like so cold that she could actually see her breath. And there was just this guy stood in her living room. So obviously she was terrified and didn't know what to think, whether it was an intruder or just a ghost, or just a ghost.
Just a ghost.
And the guy like walked away, and then he just like disappeared, and she was completely freaked out. And she wasn't sure if she was just dreaming and like just woke up and saw it, but the fact that she could actually see her breath in the room, it was that cold. She was pretty sure it's paranormal. So freaky out, getting chills just thinking about that. So that's when she kind of knew something was weird with the house.
So yeah, that was the sort of first sort of major experience she had in the house, where it was like kind of unexplainable.
Yeah.
And then after a while after that, it sort of died down. It was sort of like back to little noises and bumps. But then one night in particular, she believed she woke up, didn't she? And she explained it like it felt like sleep paralysis, and that's what she was putting it down to, because she is like a medical student, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like a psychologist.
Yeah, so she works like to do with the brain, so she put it down to I'm having sleep paralysis, which is just scary in general anyway. But so she saw this like kind of like black sort of darkness floating towards her, and she didn't really think anything of it. And all of a sudden her dog actually got up on top of her and was so protective over her that his little, like the dog's paws, started to dig into her actual skin. And all of a sudden, like the dog just like got like kind of picked up and just like slung against the wall, and like that's just sorry, the pauses because it just blows my mind. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like why, like a dog like get thrown across the room? Like how do you even explain that? You can maybe explain terrifying. Like well, sleep paralysis, like being in your bed and just seeing something really crazy, but to like see your dog physically get picked up and like get thrown across the room, that is just literally like the stuff in life, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's terrifying. One interesting thing about where this all happened was that one of the portals in the house was actually thought to be in that bedroom, and it's kind of where most of the activity happened, because the dog apparently was always kind of like freaked out and spooked in that bedroom. And it's thought that possibly Edwin might have opened this portal because he was so desperate to contact his sister, he likely let something in, and that's kind of where the epicenter kind of was.
Yeah, I think that's the creepiest part, like not knowing it, but like letting some sort of dark sort of energy into your house, like actually kind of like inviting it in, because you're just so desperate to just talk to your sister.
Yeah, because it usually poses like as your loved ones and stuff, so you should never, if anything talks to you in that sense, you shouldn't usually reach out.
So then after all these crazy things had been happening to Kristen, she actually decided to just get out of that place and just actually rent for a while. And while she was doing that, she tried to rent out the Bellaire house to people. And as you would expect, no one was taking her up on that offer. And at one point she actually tried to sell the house to the state for $1, and they still was not having any of it. I mean, I don't blame them, do you?
No, but that is so, it's like no one wants the responsibility of that place.
No, yeah, so everyone's just like, no, nothing to do with it. But it just shows you, to have so many people not just move in, move out, reject rent, like have dogs and pets thrown across the room, weird experiences, just like so many people it happening to. there must be something up with this house, in my opinion. It's just crazy.
So it was almost like the house was like a curse. Once you had it, you couldn't really get rid of it, and that's kind of how Kristen saw it. In the end, she ended up just turning it over to paranormal investigators and kind of let them just research more into it, because she just didn't want anything to do with it and nobody else did.
Another supposedly haunted room in the house is trademark, the attic. Do you know what I mean? Why does it have to be the attic or basement? But yeah, so it's supposedly haunted by a spirit, a young girl named Emily.
Yes.
Yes, the confirmation. Yeah, so it was haunted by a young girl named Emily, but the crazy thing about this is she isn't thought to be the main presence up there, because it's believed a young boy, well, it's not believed, it's fact that a young boy actually fell out the window there and fell to his death. Now, the rumours are that people think that this young girl named Emily actually pushed the young boy out the window by accident, I don't know, or on purpose, but there's two predominant child spirits up in the attic. So another theory is that this spirit named Emily is actually a demon, and for anyone who believes in demons, they know that they'll often pretend to be a loved one, pretend to be something innocent like a child. I don't particularly know if I believe in demons. I don't know if you do.
I do, like I was saying yesterday, I only believe in demons if there's like a portal involved, because I'm not religious, but I believe that if there's portals, demonic things like evil spirits basically can come in. That's how I see it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's getting deep.
Yeah, no, so that's a crazy theory, that there's actually a demonic presence in the form of a young girl in the building, so that'd be enough to keep me away.
Yeah. So another situation that kind of happened that was linked to Emily, because it was the similar kind of things that she would do, because a lot of people have been pushed there and it's always towards windows, just like how that young boy died. There was a building guy doing a late night tour of the house, and he had loads of stuff in his hands, and he felt literally tugged and pushed, so he fell, and he was so close to falling out of the window, and he just stopped himself, and there was no one else there, and he had like no explanation for it at all. So a lot of people are also thinking that could be this Emily spirit, because that seems to be what she does. She like kind of pushes people towards windows, so it's almost, it looks like an accident or something, which is so creepy. It's like she's covering it up, and it's so like scheming, and it just really disturbs me.
I don't like that.
No.
Alright, so going back to Fiona's thought that this house could be cursed, is that the fact that anyone who stayed there has either had severe misfortune, or even down to actual relatives unexpectedly passing away, which is kind of creepy. If you think also, most people are spending short durations of time in this actual house, so I don't know, this house might have some sort of negative sort of curse, I guess.
Yeah, like I read that I think it's 7 family members passed away while they were in that house.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you do that?
Yeah. I always find that when you talk about this stuff, like you hear things, and I don't know if it's just my mind or like, oh, see, it's like.
We're the only one in.
Yeah.
That was quite a loud sound. What was that?
I don't know.
Moving on.
So again, thank you so much to Harmony for doing this collab with us, and definitely please check out her video and link below, because it will be amazing. I just know it will be. And just watch all of her videos; they're really fantastic, and she tells really great paranormal stories. So definitely check her out.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely been an inspiration to our channel.
Yeah, definitely.
And we definitely look up to the sort of stuff she makes. But yeah, guys, thank you so much as always for taking out your time to watch us two crazy people talk about creepy stuff. It honestly does make our day that you would even watch our videos, let alone interact with us and stuff. So please let us know what you think about this house. Is it just a massive hoax? Is it actually a cursed portal / gateway to hell?
Yeah.
Is that a bit dramatic? So as always, guys, have an amazing week, and we will see you in the next one.